Hi everybody, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I want to have a look at Google's Jamboard facility and how you can use that in Canvas as a whiteboard for students to interact at a distance. Let's get started. So if you don't know me, I'm Al-ankar, head of e-learning, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, here's my handle as well. It's at Khaled AL_ankar. So let's jump straight over to Google and let's have a look and see what we can get out of this Jamboard app. So obviously I'm on Google's website and I've logged in, signed in correctly, and what I need to do is click on the little apps and scroll down and find Jamboard. What I'll do is ask me if I want to create a Jamboard. So a Jamboard, technically, again, like I said earlier, is a whiteboard. So what I'm going to do is click yes, click on the plus, create a new jam, spin for a second. But what happens is you've got a Jamboard there that you can start utilising straight away. I'm going to rename it and call it Project 2. And then click OK. So what you can do with a whiteboard effectively is you can have all your students collaborate on this actual sort of big whiteboard, and what they can do on there is they can add images, add text, and loads of very different things. And what it allows you to do is, again, is because a lot of tutors have came to me and said to me that they're missing their whiteboard, they can't use a whiteboard, they want to explain sort of theories and do other things and use pointers and stuff like that within their learning, and they want to try and bring that into the classroom. So I said that this is probably one of the ways of doing it. So with a Jamboard you can effectively draw directly on to the Jamboard. Not the best, but obviously it really works very well with the app. So if you've got an iPad or anything, that's a really cool way to do it. You can also erase. Your pointer allows you to obviously select items once there's a majority of items on there. So for instance, I can select this one. Ooh. Yeah. And what this does is effectively become a massive whiteboard that you can let students collaborate on, share their ideas, share their thoughts. You could screencast this inside a conference and use it as your whiteboard that you would allow the people to then take access of and do stuff on at the same time. They can upload images, they can upload audio, text, and a variety of different other things. But for instance, I need to just, first of all, change the title of it. So I'm just going to call it Project 2. Whiteboard. Click OK. And from this, obviously, you can use your pen. Off your pen, you've got a variety of different colours and brushes and styles, obviously. I'll be honest, it doesn't work as 100% as you might have thought, or with a mouse. It's a lot better with an iPad or a phone or something like that. But equally, the pen is a cool tool to have. You've also got the eraser, which allows you to take stuff off. You've got a pointer, which once you've got all the stuff on there will allow you to move it about. You've got sticky notes. So a sticky note, you can just call this next week's task and save it, and then straight away you've got a sticky note on there. Press cancel, and that sticky note can be moved around once you've got that arrow there. You can also do some other quite cool stuff in the idea of adding images. So if you want to do a Google search, you can Google search for technology, for instance, and then you can pull an image directly into it. So it's very good for collaborating and sharing ideas and sharing practice with regards to everything that they're doing. Again, from the add images, you can also add images from your Google Drive, from your photos, photos that are shared with you, or you can upload directly from your computer. So if I click select a file, I can upload this banner that I created a while ago in Canva, and what that'll do is take the image that's on my machine and upload it directly onto the page. You've also got the laser pointer, so if you were explaining something and you wanted to obviously say circling that one and then explain that it was this window or next week's assessment, what happens is that those are like live for a few seconds that students can actually see when they're looking at it. So if you was doing this to a lot of people, then obviously it'd be really cool to have that as an additional thing. If you want another page and you just want to go, right, okay, that one's good, so I want to create another one, just click on the little plus arrow that's up here, sorry, the next arrow up there, which will take you onto that. You can zoom out, you can undo anything you've just done, you can add a background to it, you can clear the frame entirely. So if I wanted to add lines on there, I could literally add lines up there by adding that background, or you can make it darker. There's a variety of different things you can do with a Jamboard, but effectively what it is a big whiteboard that's digital that will be sat on your Canvas course. So to get it on your Canvas course, you're going to need to do a few things. So once I'm finished with my board and I'm happy that that's what I want to share, I can then click on share. From the who has access area, we need to be able to change that and make that, for instance, anyone with a link. And obviously we want to, from the settings, say that they can edit. Once you've done that, select save. That will then change the link that's at the top, and this is the link that you can now put inside your Canvas course as an external URL inside the modules. So if I click on that one and copy it, and now I'll go over to Canvas, I will click on my module. I want to add an external URL, and that's where you paste that link that I've just had inside of there. If I call this project to whiteboard, and then from the settings, make sure you load it in a new tab. So that's an interesting one. So that makes sure that it's full screen. It's the best way for students to actually see something that's full screen on their devices as well. If they have got an app, it will force the app to work as well. So it means if they've got the Jamboard app on their iPad or on their phone or their Android device or iOS device, then it'll allow them to open it within that app as well, which is really beneficial. So I'll click add the item, and then with anything in Canvas you need to make sure it's published, and then you're pretty much set up and good to go. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to jump over as a test student and see what they can see and see what they see, and show you guys as well. So if I just using the toggle switch over to the learning course, right now the student sees nothing, but if they refresh, whiteboard 2 appears, and then what the student can do is click on the whiteboard, and it will allow them to see the content that's on that whiteboard as well. And because you shared it with them and they use an editor, it also allows them to be able to do some other stuff. So they can write on there, and then they can upload their own images, they can add their own sticky note. So if they was working in a group, they could add their own sticky note up there, and those sticky notes can continue to be to fill the page up with ideas and thoughts and anything else that you want to do inside of one of your classes or your online classes now. They can also upload images from Google, so if they put something up there that they thought was quite powerful, they can share their own ideas, they can share their own images. They could have had their own page if you wanted to do it, so you could make more pages and they could have just one page, one whiteboard page each, and it would allow you to have an interactive whiteboard that everyone could see, but you just use a whiteboard page for each student. A variety of different methods to use this sort of facility. It's been available for a while, again, the Google Jamboard thing, but I think we've never actually really harnessed it for distance learning. So now, if anything, is a good time to maybe give it a try. So I've showed you guys how to create a Google Jamboard. I've showed you guys how to have it inside your course as external URL. The final thing I'll show you, and that's if it actually works, is what I'll do is I will bring up this on my iPad, and I'll see if I can actually start editing page 5 from my iPad. So I'm logged in on the Jamboard thing. If I go to page 5 and I start doing the same thing, yeah. So this is it. It's all live, collaborating in the cloud, and it works in the exact same way as you want it to anyway. So it's really good, and I can obviously access all my Google Drive and anything else. So I'm doing this directly from an iPad. So students technically could do this from their phones as well, and add, contribute, do whatever they need to do. So a really neat way of creating a whiteboard that will be able to be used for everybody, all in one place, and in one space. I hope this has been beneficial to you all. If you want to contact us or the team or ask us any more questions how to even log into the Google account if you're not quite sure how to do that, just send us an email to elearning@hull-college.uk and one of the team will be with you. Please stay safe and have a great day.